put some fucking pants on and go outside and do some shit.
Nothing to do.
There's nothing to do.
Girl, there is nothing to do.
The Sandhills wants to know what time it is. It's time to get ready for the unlimited social scoop. Introducing Nothing to Do, the Sandhills Social Scene Podcast, straight from the Share Studios with your host, Dominique.
Hey guys, welcome to the Nuthin To Do Podcast, recorded at the Share Studios, brought to you by Cumulus Media Group. It's Rock 103, Q98, 6:40 a.m. and Magic 106.9. I am your host, Dominique, and welcome to episode 15. So if you're noticing this designer luggage under my eyes, it's because this past weekend was extremely jam-packed with things to do. Send a shout out to NC State. You guys fought very, very hard, and your state is proud of you. And also, Dreamville recap. So my first time at Dreamville went a little something like this. People rocking everywhere. There's so many people there that my anxiety was a little bit heightened. The shows were pretty cool. That was my first time ever seeing J. Cole. I know, surprise, surprise. But he put on a really good show. And of course, you know, he brought out some special guests to help him do some songs. Maybe you guys can get the whole microphone situation put together. I suggest DBI downtown. Maybe for next year, just throwing it out there. And to all of you people who say we should have something like that here, no. That's all I'm gonna say. We can stop having this conversation. Let's take it off Facebook. Let's stop talking about it under your breath. As much as I would love to have a huge festival here, I need you people to get out. And I feel like me telling you guys what's going on around town and us continuing to create that buzz about the cool things we have going on here. We don't have to travel for things that are over an hour away. But when something's that cool, sometimes it's necessary to travel. So that's it. We can have a Fayetteville. Stop trying to bring Dreamville here. But it was a dope experience. I am very, very thankful to have been a part of it. And yeah, so there's that. 2-6. This episode, we're going to be talking to a couple people in the community doing dope things, just like we talk about every year. So I'm going to keep that one a little silent until we get started. It's episode 15 of Nothing to Do. See you soon. In like 5 seconds, because he's just going to mix everything together like that. New hair, who's this? Bye. Sorry guys, I was beatboxing for Brian because I'm determined to be a professional beatboxer this year. It's happening. Ain't that right, Brian? He's shaking his head. Hey guys, it is episode 15 of the Nothing To Do podcast. And I haven't given you guys a backstory in a very long time. And I say that like we've been doing this for years, but it feels like it. So growing up, being from Fayetteville, there's either one or two places you could be born, and that is Kafer Valley and not Kafer Valley. My family's been in the hospital forever as far as like working in employment. My mom is actually going on, I think 33 years of being a Kafer Valley employee. So it's played a huge part of my life, especially when I was going through my medical issues the last couple of years. They've taken care of me. I know how to get all the treats and snacks from all the nurses. Something about that hospital ginger ale and graham cracker cookies. It does something for me. It makes me feel better. But we can't thank them enough for being such a pillar in our community. And today I am going to be interviewing a employee of Kafer Valley, but not necessarily on the side that you and I are used to dealing with. And she's a Fayetteville native. So Ashley, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So tell the people who you are, especially what high school you went to, because that's very important.
Okay. So my name is Ashley Lee. I am the Community Development Coordinator for the Cape Fear Valley Health Foundation. Fayetteville native. I went to Cape Fear High School.
Okay.
Just a few years ago. Not really. More like 20 years ago. But
the 20-year reunion is very fun.
Yeah. If we have one, we're not very good at having reunions, but we'll see.
You should make them.
We haven't had one yet.
So, when you graduated from Cape Fear, what did you do?
When I graduated from Cape Fear, I went to the University of North Carolina at Pembroke.
Okay.
And received a undergrad degree in Parks and Recreation Management.
So, in your head, what were you going to do with that?
More of a recreational therapy. I wanted to do something along the lines of programming or with the municipal Parks and Recreation Management side. I planned to get my master's. So after that, I went to NC State and got my master's in Parks, Recreation, Tourism, and Sport Management.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on behalf of all of us, I just want to let you know I'm sorry about the Final Four.
It's okay.
We were
I'm still
rooting for you
proud.
guys. I'm blaming John Kistler for not having on his lucky apron.
Okay.
Because it was his birthday. Happy birthday, Kistler. And Lynn Green went to the previous 2 games. So I felt like she should have gone there. I'm a very superstitious person. Once you start winning, you have to follow
You have to
through.
keep going. Yeah. You know, Keats wore the same shoes, like his referee shoes the whole time. So, yes, I'm still very proud of the Pack. I've been a Wolfpack fan my whole life. So it was very, very great to see them make it that far.
Yeah.
So I'm still very proud of our Wolfpack.
We actually had a comedy show that night too. We canceled because we were holding it at the downtown market. She's a NC State alum as well. And so the headliner put on his Facebook that due to unforeseen circumstances, like no one ever seeing the Pack going that far, we had to cancel the show. So kudos to you guys. What brought you back to Fayetteville?
So I'm from Fayetteville. I actually had a small business. So after undergrad and during grad school, my husband and I, high school sweetheart, we got married. His job moved him to Raleigh, so we moved kind of halfway between our home here in Fayetteville and then Raleigh, so McGee's Crossroads. And during that, I worked in the nursing home setting as the activities director and just trying to kind of get my foot in the door with programming and management, as well as still going to school at State for grad school. During that, I created a small business, a little art studio, Simply Art, and that basically brought us back home full time. So we found ourselves driving a lot, doing a lot of, going home to McGee's Crossroads, waking up, I worked in Fuquay Marina at the time for my normal job, and then 5 o'clock hauling tail to Fayetteville for a paint party at 6, and then not finishing until about 10, 11. So did that for a while, and it just got old. Had to make a decision to let this little baby go that we created of a small business, or follow my schooling plans with pursuing more parks and recreation. So so we decided to take Simply Art and did it full time for about 6 years, and brought 2 little kids along the way, and just came back home to our roots.
Nice. So what made you want to, so you had art background and Parks and Rec background. What made you want to work for the foundation?
So it was meant to be, is all I can say. We decided to downsize. I was working as an art teacher with Cumberland County Schools with our kids and family. It was just the nature of the beast with the art studio was nights and weekends all the time. So I'm just trying to decide something more family oriented, looking into that nature. I love teaching art, but I was at a crossroad where I needed to pass the art praxis, prolong school, and I think about the art praxis. So I was like, okay, this avenue isn't working out. However, I loved it. It was so fun. And so I just started thinking, okay, if I'm going to have to take a huge pay cut, what else? And then also, we just had a little baby during that time. And so for his first year, he developed RSV and reactive airway disease. So he was hospitalized. I guess you would say we would call him a frequent flyer. Yeah. So I knew I kind of got used to a routine of going to the ED. Not in a good way. It was always, you try your best not to have to go to the ED. Yeah. You go there at, in the middle of the night when you can't go see his pediatrician. So it was always when he really couldn't breathe and his stats were really low and we knew at, X amount of pulse ox, we needed to take him to the hospital. So then my husband would stay home with our oldest child. So we have a 6-year-old, and I would take the baby to the hospital, and they were always amazing. But fast forward, I was stumbling upon this job on Indeed and just on the listing and seeing that it was philanthropy and working with the foundation and raising awareness, and I thought maybe that would be something to try out. So I interviewed, and kind of the week before I interviewed with the shop, I really didn't have a background in philanthropy. So at first I was like, holy guacamole, what is philanthropy? Like, whoa, that's a big word. And now I get it. Now I see. But I've kind of done that my whole life. I've always had a little niche for always trying to raise awareness, or especially like if someone was in need or something was in need, even to the point of field trips for our kids' hockey games in the school, the kids that couldn't afford the field trip, like raising awareness and funds to get them a ticket to go to the hockey game, I think. And then just anyway, all I like to say, it wasn't the plan. It wasn't my lifetime goal to do this, but I think it was so meant to be. When I interviewed, my boss, Sabrina, was telling me, the great things that the foundation has done and what they're a part of and just their mission. And it struck a nerve when she said, I don't know if you have ever had to be in the hospital or your children. And actually that week before, she had reached out for an interview. I was oblivious because we were hospitalized. And so coming home, I was like, wow, yeah, I definitely know about that. And so she said, we try, and just started naming off a few things that actually benefited us personally. So like, 2 a.m. your kid can't breathe and throwing up for whatever reason, you're not thinking straight. You don't know what to pack. And so a little treasure box toy. It was a McDonald's Happy Meal toy, a little crab, and that's what he got. And it was like a prize for leaving, and but like that has been something that stuck with him that whole week. And something simple that we take for granted all the time. It was like the highlight of his day, and thankfully for me, it helped with some diversion and keeping his mind off of being hospitalized. As well as while we were there were also coloring books, crayons, stickers, and little things that I had no clue that the foundation even funded. And especially being pretty active in the community, small business owner, always donating and always giving back to the community, I just kind of felt a sense of like guilt, like, oh my goodness, this was right here and I didn't even know the need, and like I could be, this would help me so much personally. And I can only imagine that parents who don't have the other spouse at home, or, as sad as it is, military wives or single parents, and ones that have to literally drop their kid off at the doors because they have another one at home, or little things that you just take for granted and don't realize. So that during the interview, I was like, holy moly, all of this from here. And so I was hooked. I was like secretly crying in the interview, I was like, she's not going to hire me back. She's not going to call me back after this because this is psycho. But it's not. It really just hit home. And then we also have a Stanton house, and so that is kind of similar to, like, I guess you would say a Ronald McDonald house kind of thing. And the only way I can say that is literally I grew up there. So I was born with a cleft lip and palate, no ear, and had 17 surgeries growing up. And so our parents would not have, without the assistance from Ronald McDonald House and other avenues that we were able to get support and resources for, wouldn't have been able to do that. And so I already came thankful and humble, so it was really cool to see that there's something like that on a smaller scale here in my community. So,
Well, I know that you guys do a lot of things for, of course, the staff, the patients, and the community, but you guys have something coming up, to Step Up for Help.
yes.
Now, I've heard about this many a times because I've had friends that donated and did like the flower work, or they had different tables out there, booths, not tables.
Yeah.
And the walk. So this is something that's been going on for how long?
So this is our third year coming up for the Step Up for Health. They've rebranded. So it was formerly called the Ribbon Walk. And I want to say at least 14 years, and I could be wrong, it could be longer, but at least 14 years for the Ribbon Walk. And then during COVID, they took a moment to rebrand and allow other service lines, not only cancer, to benefit from this, such as pediatrics. And there's actually 6 service lines that benefit from this this year, and that's heart, so hands-only CPR training, resources for that. There's nursing education scholarship to help nurses climb clinically, whether they just advance in their profession. So there's also CC MAP, which is a supplement process, CAP, and then we have cancer and pediatrics.
Okay. So you'll do a lot.
Yes.
So your event, it's coming up May 20th.
Yeah. April 20th.
April 20th.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. Like, I have an event coming up May 19th, so I'm thinking of that vacation day, which I'm going to take May 20th off to just relax. So sorry about that. So April 20th, and you're going to be at Methodist.
Yes, Methodist University will be there. It will be April 20th. You can still register. You can create a team. You can come out and just enjoy the expo, but you can register the day of still. But registration starts at 9 that day. Our sponsors are going to get there. Vendor tables are going to get there at 8:30 to set up. But as far as just coming to the event, 9 o'clock registration. Our opening ceremony, there will be some remarks from Methodist. There'll be some remarks from the foundation. Our LifeLink will have a flyover portion. Yes, we'll have our honor guard. Help Flex will be there doing some Zumba, some stretching. And then at 10 o'clock starts the walk. It's a 1 mile route or a 4K. Step Up for Help. So you don't have to be a walker. You don't have to be a marathon runner. Just come out and enjoy it. After that, then you walk through the expo. The expo is over at 12. So we've got some kid areas. We've got some fairy hair, just some neat kind of things, giveaways that people are doing. Our nursing tents having the fairy hair and braids, and the cheerleaders from Methodist University, they're going to do face paint for the kids. We've got food trucks, so we have Yummy Hibachi, Blimmy's Coffee Truck. We've got Chick-fil-A coming. We've got Sunset Slush of Fayetteville, and then the Smoothie Queen will be there too. So, yep, we have that. We've got a chance for you to give blood. Probably about 60 or more tables in the expo, and that's just community resources, different community partners, I guess you would say. We've got some Cape Fear Valley service lines teaching you, early symptoms of stroke, blood pressure checks. Our EMS team will be there with the ambulance, and so many cool different things. So Cape Fear Regional Theater, going to be there doing spin art for the kids.
Nice.
Chick-fil-A Cal's going to come and do a little dance party with the kids.
Yes,
They're looking forward to your music.
I'm looking forward to this party.
Yeah, we're hoping King will be there, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be a really good time, a good family time. So please come on. Last year we had over 700 people. We're hoping that will grow this year. But yeah, we're looking forward to it, getting pumped.
So are you going to do any of the Zumba? Are you walking? Like, what's your involvement that day besides holding it together?
Holding it together. I'm going to be doing anything I'm needed for. We have a great committee, so they're also there. We've got volunteers coming. Also, if anyone wants to volunteer,
Absolutely.
there's still time to do that and reach out. But we have some fraternities, sororities coming to help volunteer around the route. Actually, Methodist has a great presence, Dee Dee, with their athletic department. They are, actually, their student volunteers are going to be along the routes, and just a lot of fun, though. We're looking forward to it.
I feel like this event is very necessary in the community, especially like when you talk about raising awareness. There's a lot of buildings that we see, but we never know really like what the different, I guess, Lego blocks that make up that building do.
Yeah.
So of course, I'm really excited to learn more. But I guess we'll have to start with Step Up for Health.
For sure.
You can catch us out doing Zumba.
Yeah.
You gonna do Zumba with me?
Oh, sure. I'd love to do that.
I ain't doing no Zumba. I'm too big for that. So tell the people where they can find more information if they want to volunteer.
So you can go on, there's actually a Give Sign Up website for the actual event. You can find that on our foundation website. It's Cape Fear Valley Foundation, Cape Fear Valley Health Foundation. So actually it's cfvhf.org/Step Up for Health. Maybe you can find us on Facebook, though. Cape Fear Valley Health Foundation. We post it a lot on our Facebook, social media. Email me, alee@capefearvalley.com. And my phone number is 910-615-1434. But yeah, come on out. And
do you guys do any drives to like collect things? Like the treasure box is amazing. My goddaughter loves that treasure box. And the nurses spoiled her so much. So now she has it conditioned in her. Whenever she goes anywhere, she gets something because that's how often we frequent.
Same, I did that growing up. I used to get a trapper keeper after every surgery. Isn't that crazy?
I have one in my closet. I just But if someone wanted to donate things, can they do that, or is there a process?
Absolutely. So they just need to reach out to me and let me know, so I can receive it and thank them. And we always need donations, though. We have a great community that's pretty good at helping us with that. Anything as far as donating drives and donating for the hospital. I know right now we need Play-Doh, little single-sized Play-Doh. We are always in need of underwear. It just has to be new. Sweatpants, t-shirts, comfy hospital clothes, all the way from little kids to our adolescent unit, our adults. They're in adult sizes, but chapter books. Gosh, I know right now we're low on the single item use things like Play-Doh. She had just sent me an email on Play-Doh, but we have an Amazon gift registry that you can see. One good thing they say for our little babies is a mobile unit, the Baby Einstein mobile unit. They are, it's like a sound machine, but it also moves, and it's really good for our little ones who don't have family there. So something that just keeps them intrigued and interactive for the babies. But that's all on our Amazon gift wish list. We have a newsletter that you can sign up for with that to get recent things that are in immediate need. But yeah, we are always doing drives. We do see that we're very fortunate and blessed more in Christmas. And so times like now where it's spring and summer, we are more in need of things and need some groups to kind of step up if they would.
Step up. Got it.
And commit to maybe a spring and summer drive or Christmas in July, anything like that we can benefit from. But we do, speaking with our child life specialist, we do see a dry time kind of around now in the summer months.
Okay. So maybe one of the boards that I'm on, we could probably figure that out, calling you out, guys. Let's do something. So we'll see you guys out at Methodist University, starting at registrations at 8:30? 9. Registrations at 9, April 20th for Step Up for Help. Thanks for coming. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
Episode 15. Hi guys. So episode 15 of the Nuthin To Do podcast, and we are rocking and rolling. And what better way to rock and roll than to talk about tattoos? Everybody around town believe in this art form, and whether you're doing them or you have them, and I have plenty that I've had to hide from a lot of employers, which is why I'm really excited to work in radio, because I can just wear yoga pants and have my tattoos out. But that's neither here nor there. Today I am sitting with the none other than Johnny Awesome, and you've probably seen him around town with some form of short shorts on, like he has right now. Hey, welcome to the show.
These are actually, regular, standard shorts.
They're standard?
I'm wearing a bathing suit and I'm nowhere near the beach, but yes. Hi.
Hi. But you're near pools.
Yes, the pools of me crying because it's just, I like winter. I'm not a big man to be out in the summer, but then that's whenever I kind of like turn into this like weird form of myself where the shorts are even shorter and then it's just nothing but tank tops, and downtown's constantly giving me citations on please don't ride your scooter with short shorts on the sidewalk. So how are you doing?
I'm doing well. You're gearing up for a big event, but let's talk about who is Johnny.
That's multiple different people all crammed together.
Let's talk about who is Johnny to Fayetteville.
There we go. I moved here about 15 years ago. It's coming up to like 16 years ago. I really wanted to continue my apprenticeship that I was learning from down in Pensacola, Florida. And just the guy that was apprenticing me was like, hey, I'm moving up here to be close to family. We're going to go to Vietnam. And I was like, yes, that sounds absolutely great. Can't wait to tell my parents. But yeah, I moved up here as an apprentice, kind of worked my way through many different subcultures of Fayetteville. I mean, you can't knock it until you've been around, like, where every single drug dealer's house is now, or apartment. Every strip club, just all the different types. You start off with that, and then you kind of start meeting people and realizing that the folks that are from Fayetteville are super genuine, and they've just pretty much just been servicing all the folks coming in and out. And that's actually kind of neat. It kind of reminds you of like a Star Wars, kind of cantina scene, whatever, where you're just constantly just servicing people that you'll see every couple years, or just, I keep saying servicing, that sounds horrible right now. You've had to do that, but no, I mean, I've got to meet so many different groups of people, and then now in my life of being here for that long, I'm noticing with each new thing that I'm trying to involve myself with, I'm finding that most of those people have known each other as well. And there's a lot of overlapping of friendships and stories. And that's always been my favorite thing about Fayetteville, is that because of such a transient city, you're able to kind of put together, the history of this place over just friends that have went to school together or happen to work together or have created something really neat, like being in a basement on a podcast. So, I mean, how long have we known each other?
Oh, geez.
Exactly. And that's the thing is that's my favorite part, is when I can feel safe to know that the people I hang around with every day, even if it's new things like just coming to do a cool podcast, I love the fact that I get to do it with someone I consider a really good friend. And so I love being here, and my mother thinks that I'm absolutely insane. So let's keep that going.
Yes, we got to.
Don't tell her how cool it is.
Yeah, no. We want her, all of our moms, to always think we're in danger at every moment.
That's why I named my son Danger. It's so much easier it takes away the taboo. Now he's just going to be a boring kid. He'll be perfect. He'll be safe. No.
So what got you into tattooing?
So you have a lot of friends growing up or acquaintances. Let's go ahead and start with what acquaintances are. It's people that want to make you feel like you are going to be their friend for a long time, but you just kind of keep those people there constantly. And with that, I'm drawing for people when I'm in elementary school, middle school, high school, and you kind of get better because it's a need for people pleasing, which is being an artist. It's really hard to be able to get that validation. There's no actual stamp of, okay, here's your your reward, or here is your raise, I guess, with the job. So like the more people that like your artwork. But then I found myself that word starving artist was going to be real, because when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of jobs. Like you can go work at Walmart with the airbrush guy. And if any of you know that, that means that they did have airbrushing at Walmart. I usually have to bring that up like it's some kind of like Berenstein Bears kind of Mandela effect. Yeah. So, but that's the thing, is that I guess people pleasing got me to this point, but I really wanted to, that was the cool factor, is tattoos, you know, everyone thinks they're neat. They're a little bit taboo at that time. So yeah, I mean, I kind of went with whatever angle I could to be able to get to where I was at. Not in any type of desperateness, but in apprenticeship, it was kind of like you're doing whatever you can. Like you moved to this place. I was pretty much that guy's like the godparent to his kids. Rest in peace. You know, he's passed away, but at the same time, like it was one of those things that like I was there for him at every single angle. You know what I'm saying? If he had to go pick up his baby mama down in Florida, cool, you're driving the other car. You know, it's just like that determination, because once you see that this is something that it is an actual trade, I know right now it's easy for people to pick it up from Amazon, like as if it's a package. And there's so many tattoo artists that it's hard for health inspectors to even like really be able to maintain all of that. And now everybody has their opinions and agendas, and they want to be able to have their own private space, which I feel like tattooing is such a social, just the art of tattooing is a social event. You know what I'm saying? You're hearing things, vulnerabilities from people, and it kind of creates that little bit of a friendship. So now my acquaintances pay me to be able to spend that time of my day with them, but I wouldn't change it. I love it. And so, yeah, just through the ways that I had to. And then, like I said, meeting folks in town. I got hooked up with Kate Beard, and we kind of started that a long time ago, which, you know, they're still cranking it. That legacy is beautiful and healthy, and I'm really proud of those guys. But the amount of people that I got to meet, it wasn't just people out of the strip clubs. It wasn't just, you know, people at concerts and, you know, the rock scenes and stuff like that. I mean, we spent time at the Rock Shop Music Hall. I mean, constantly just, you know, and those, you find that you can't just tattoo just those people. You know what I'm saying? The people that you want to be your friends, you can't expect for them to keep your career going. So with Kate Beard, I was able to, you know, branch out and meet everybody's grandma, you know what I'm saying? And that's the key. Any tattoo artist that is up and coming, you tattoo somebody's grandma and she will make sure the entire family, everyone at church and everyone at her local gas station goes to you. And that's been a big benefit. And I love tattooing my friends' moms and their kids, even whenever they become 18. That's the craziest part, that kids that I've known like since they were like, I don't know, like 5 years old. And then now, you know, they're coming in for their second sleeve at the age of 20. I'm like, I even have enough money for one tattoo at 18.
Like, where are you getting this money from?
But I mean, that's the thing, is that's the evolution of things. And, you know, this is a service community. It's a service industry. And I like to think that that's the reason why, you know, a lot of people, you can do it here. It really is. It is Dreamville, really, if you think about it. I never heard that song until later. And when I was in the spot of where I thought that I had made it, you know, especially just by a little bit more beyond having a club. And our good friend Tyreek, you know, he did a cover of No Role Models, like, but we were right there at the Market Square and at the grand opening of my new shop, or my shop that I had. And it's really cool. Like, I was able to take something that was my brand, and it's very eclectic, very it's very unorganized, but it's awesome.
It works for you.
And that's
there's
really
comfort in chaos, right?
And that's what my brand is. I mean, it's one of those things, if you can stick by me through all the crazy stuff, like there's always a hand that just reaches out and then just like grabs me before I hit the floor. And I'd like to think that's because the people that I've met, it's because the people that I have nurtured those relationships. And they've watched me freak out because I can't be able to be there for them at certain times. And that's all thanks to tattooing. And I think Fayetteville's been such an amazing just place for me to be able to, you know, create the things that I want to, even while trying to be able to handle so many people at one time, of trying to make sure I have their validation. I've now, after 15 years, learned my validation.
Speaking of validation and purpose, so you mentioned Cape Beard. Are there any other activities that you're in or groups that you're in that are nonprofits?
Actually, right now, not at the moment. I am talking about actually forming because I have a lot of fun little things that are going to be beneficial later on in the future. And I figured that possibly kind of inspiring me to start my own foundation, but something that it's just that we can be able to use to be able to get out knowledge and help out the community in those ways and help kind of like do something like how Cape Beard did, where we were just a 501c3 that helps give to other charities. But I really want to kind of bring back a lot of history of this town, and that's where I kind of want to bring that. So yeah, right now, through the midst of this new project that I'm doing, that we're actually going to be moving our tattoo shop at 7 Market Square. It's awesome tattoos. We've kind of outgrown our space. Well, the spot that we're moving into has humongous display areas in the front. And instead of just kind of filling it full of whatever crazy stuff I have in my shop, which is very eclectic, I wanted to take it a little bit more seriously, because that was kind of the precipice of my career, is to make it right here. It's not beautiful. It's not great. You know what I'm saying? But I did it. To that point, I was able to inspire somebody to come to me and say, hey, do you want this space? And this is kind of like the, wow, like I said, I wanted to be down here, and I actually get to stand right here with a key, and it's really cool. But enough on that. My new project is that I want to, we don't really know very much about old school tattooing, except for a lot of, like, my friends are guys that were here during the 70s and 80s. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the beautiful benefits of being here, is you meet people from all walks of life. And then through my travels, I've met folks that were here during the 70s and 80s. So because I couldn't get into this new space that I'm talking about at the moment, I wanted to think of what I could do to be able to help build grants, or at least just be able to give myself something to occupy my time. And so me and actually my girlfriend now, we decided to go ahead and just start trying to put together a piece of the history of Fayetteville tattooing, which is really cool, because I mean, you got to give props to Bill Clayton. He was definitely the man for his time. But the thing is that the only thing that I could be able to say is that no one knows about the time before that. No one knows what inspired that man to be able to place the shops where he put them and do the ways that he did it and he learned. But because this was his father was Buzz Clayton, and over on the West Coast, which is really cool. Like, he was a child of tattooing. But at the end of the day, there was folks here before that. There was guys that like really, started off right on Hay Street, but then also Bragg Boulevard was where, I guess tattooing really kind of started back in 1970, 1972, around that time, between there and Spring Lake. And then, you got, some guys from down in Miami or New York that just kind of come around here, and then they say that this place needs a tattoo shop. Next thing you know, you got Tattoos by Lou, which is actually where it's located, exactly where our police station is right now, because Hay Street, of course, had to go through a gentrified makeover about 30 years ago. Good Lord. Not gonna lie. We can just have like a percentage of that energy. Just saying.
I don't think that we are young enough for that anymore.
We're not. We're not that naive. I love where our downtown's going right now. Actually, it's very beautiful that we are able to express our art a lot more. I've been a lot more quiet in the past years, because I've learned from friends of ours that it's better to be behind the curtains instead of the front. I was in front of everything for so long with the club and everything, that I just want to kind of manifest the things that I'm doing and take this time as a dad to not only get my stuff together before my son's at an age where he really needs me to be there. I want to kind of plant my seeds personally, not just with my organization and stuff. So I think with the tattooing history stuff that we're talking, I would love to be able to actually make a coffee table book and actually be able to donate that into like our libraries, because I had to go to the library to be able to get the microfilm and all that stuff to do, which was really exciting. I felt like Harriet the Spy kind of thing, like doing my research journalism, and something I never thought I would ever want to do, but I love putting puzzle pieces together, especially the history of this town. Because you never know, like, your family might have been right next to the family of someone else who was doing something that they could remember and recollect those. So I'm just really pumped that like all of these things are happening right around this time. It was never planned for that, But I think that's what Fayetteville is. It's very beautiful that it happens when it's supposed to.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a friend tell me that the easiest way to make God laugh is to make plans, because he already has them planned out for you.
Exactly.
So like, having that said, have you always been a traditional tattoo artist?
I've always craved to do traditional tattooing. I get picked on sometimes, at least how I would feel. I have 5 amazing women that work in my establishment now, which I never thought I would ever have employees or would ever be a predominantly female shop, which is crazy. But the thing is that they're always like, just your style is very like, it's traditional, like it's in the traditional family, but it's like, it's new school, it's neo, it's old school. And I'm like, because I lived through all 3 of those generations of tattooing. I was born in the time where, you couldn't really get a lot of the stuff from whenever I was born, like around the 80s, because whenever I was wanting to look into it, it was like the 90s, and that was, everybody had color pencils and their flash was just a little bit different. It was starting to get really more unique each time. In the 70s and 80s, in the 40s through the 80s, it was like, cool, this is what a tiger looks like. We're going to draw a tiger just like that. But then, there's a lot of cats that I don't think anybody would really recognize names, but like there's a lot of old school cats that really just kind of like defined just doing what they wanted to do within the boundaries of, this whole thing that was traditional tattooing. They didn't call it traditional back then, but it's a 1/3 process for color, ink, and just overall design and in skin tone. So the thing is, so that way you can be able to see it from like a mile away. So that's why they call it traditional tattooing. But during its different phases was the time of, I was a 80s baby, 90s kid, I didn't really have, the kind of technology. I just found out what a Tumblr was. That makes me realize so much that I missed. Like, and that was the thing during the club times. Like, I was using email and listening to my record player, already feeling like I was an older cat. So yeah, I'm learning so much from my new group. But that's the thing, is I do take that as a big compliment, that I can't really tell you if I do traditional. I try to be able to just make the work that I do awesome every time, and consistent at least, and always try to be able to make it better each time. And that's why I'm excited about this weekend, is that I get to just be around nothing but my friends. I have somehow talked the convention into, I think I blackmailed them. So I don't know. I really don't know. But I have told them, I said, I want to have a whole row of people that I like that are at the convention. They're always spread out. And last year I was very upset because no one could find me. I was behind a curtain of an end cap. So I was like, oh, this is horrible. So of course, in proper awesome fashion, I like to complain so much about things that really are not that big of a deal. And I don't complain about things that are a huge deal. It's weird. But at the end of the day, they told me I could call it Awesome Street, and they let me kind of handpick from the people that were there. And so now we get a whole row of dedicated, like, traditional artists, which is really cool, because we don't really have beef, like how, like, there's not like a competition really in traditional art. It was already done by Sailor Jerry like 100 years ago, but it doesn't matter. Like, those are the fun kids. Those are the ones that want to keep the tradition of all of it going. So I'll be really fun. I call them the Awesome Street Scratchers. I didn't get anything made, so it doesn't. It's not like you realize it would have said ass.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I still want a shirt.
Yeah, I know. We did have we had a fun shirt made for Awesome Tattoos. And honestly, if I knew we were doing it like this, I would have definitely brought you one, because I have them at the shop. I've been running around so much. But 2 years ago, my assistant, I was just mentally drained. I was going through relationship problems. My kid was within a 1 year of being born. And then, so I just had a lot going on, and I was just overwhelmed because I freehand everything. So you can tell me you want a Phoenix, but people don't communicate that well, so that means it turns into a Phoenix back piece that day. But I want the flames realistic, but I want the bird to look black and gray and old school.
Okay.
People's minds are very creative. But what's neat is that like she took something that I said 2 years ago out of just like me just being just like face drug in the dirt, and I was just like, I'm gonna smoke the cigarette, and then I'm gonna go break down. And she's like, I'm like, my booth, not mentally. And because it was all nothing but mental breakdowns.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh my God. She's like, can you make that a shirt? So we took a hardcore style, just like a black and gray photo of a setup for tattooing that's been used. And like, of course, it just looks like a pile of mess at the end. And we did awesome tattoos in like a very hardcore style where it looks like, I guess, like sticks thrown on the ground. But it says, we're here to break down, or we're going to break down. And it's Fayetteville, North Carolina. So it just looks like a dope old Fayetteville hardcore t-shirt. We're really pumped to have those this weekend. Got stickers made to go with it. But that's kind of like where I'm taking this new space that I'm going to be at is that I've done a lot. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I was watching Forrest Gump the other night. He's like, I want to go home now. And that's the thing is like, I'm here where I need to be, but now it's like, I get to just create and go through all of these chaotic situations that are happening with buildings and stuff like that. But my favorite part is I get to take all this irritation and all this stress and I get to laugh about it. That's my favorite part. I don't cry at funerals. That's why I'm not allowed to go to them. But that's the thing is I will find something to make fun of myself about or at least take that pain and just turn it into something that's going to be good later on.
Now, I want to touch on two things. But first, because I'm
this spot right here first,
right,
and then
right here,
right
This space that I have for him, that's right here.
Hugs.
No one has touched it.
But so I'm a big mental health advocate. So would you say that tattooing calms you?
Tattooing, I think a lot of people that deal with mental health, when you realize that the validation is coming from not only did you do a good job, but at the same time, the person that just sat there and told you about things that is well beyond anything that goes on in your life, it kind of breaks it down. It's like your life's really not as bad, or maybe they don't see it. Like if you told them how bad your life is, it would crush their brains because they're sitting there in pain and they're just wanting to be able to talk about whatever. And sometimes they want you to. So it's a great way to be able to get out. You don't want to ever release too much information because nobody wants a crazy tattoo artist. You don't, but yeah, come on now.
Devin.
Yeah, don't you dare call out. Are you shouting out other tattoo artists?
I mean, no, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
But do you ever take it off the skin onto the canvas, onto a building, onto something else, another medium?
I do. Matter of fact, I'm waiting to be able to do a mural right now. I used to do murals back in the day, back at home in Pensacola. But of course, now that I have, a partner in my life that is also equally artistic, very, very happy to be able to have this blooming relationship over the past few years that we just recently got to go out to Puerto Rico and do stuff for a t-shirt brand called Root, which is a very exclusive made clothing brand that is primarily for Puerto Rico because out there it's got to be exclusive. Yeah. You cannot show up wearing the same shirt as someone else. Oh no, no. But so that was really cool, and then that kind of got us invited back this year. Once everything is kind of like calmed down, I'll be able to actually go and fulfill that. But there's a 3-story bar in Puerto Rico that I can't name the name of it because it's still being built right now. But at the end of the day, we're excited we get to go do 3 murals, or at least start a mural and do it every time we come back. But there is a mural like subculture over there that's amazing. It's so cool. And we've got to recently go and meet some friends that are actually the curators of all the murals. It's like you can't paint a mural without their stamp of approval, because they really try to like let that heritage be something that's very important. And so it's just really neat that that's something that I'm going to get to be able to see everything projected a little bit bigger. I have recently submitted for the side of our friend Johanna's building for the downtown market. I like it because it's not right in the middle of everybody watching, which is part of that whole mental stuff that we're talking about. I mean, it's going to give me a chance to get back into doing this, which I really enjoy. I really enjoy just being able to have like art where I can move my arms and hands around. You can't do that with tattooing. I'm excited to branch out and do more. I think the journalism and putting together the history book as well is also an art form that I am doing that's new, you know what I'm saying? And then, so of course with that, and then being able to, I just recently did bleach painting with our good friend Carlos Tolentino.
I saw his booth at Dreamville.
Yes,
And he
that
has
guy.
like a cardboard piece of whatever, and it says, "Tell all your rich friends about my art." I have a picture of that. I laughed so hard.
Thanks to that guy, like he's definitely. We've been friends for I think like 7 years now, and we both had these illusions of grandeur and by an artist that really made us feel like we were super important. But then at the end of the day, like we were just, I guess, kind of just working under him, and it wasn't what we thought, and we both actually decided to resign from there at the same day. Like we both called, hey, I'm not going to be able to get Subway today. That was our thing back and forth. We would just go get Subway for each other for lunch, and I don't know, me and him like really just like formed a friendship, a bond that I'm very, very proud of. I see him almost every single day. And matter of fact, I just recently moved businesses. I'll be moving closer to him. So he screwed up, but we got to actually do a bleach collaboration twice together. One that we did that we just pretty much, I guess, kind of like donated. We did it for Christmas. We did a big picture of Will Ferrell as Elf, and my favorite scene, he had never seen the movie. Bless his heart. Either way, he never seen the movie, so he didn't understand what's like, oh, hey, buddy, hope you find your dad. So I put all those characters around, and he's like, I don't understand what these are. And I'm like, you just do the face right, and we're fine. And we did an amazing thing. We did it on like the fourth Friday or during the Dickens Festival 2 years ago. And then we decided to collaborate for a portrait of Sailor Jerry, actually. We just wanted to see if we could do it. And I actually free-handed with the bleach over 60 designs to be able to go along with the surrounding around this beautiful picture of Sailor Jerry. And we were actually able to sell it for, couple or a few $1,000s. I was very, very happy to be able to know that, like, I can now say that I'm a professional artist at that point. I'm saying I make money doing tattoos, and I don't really give it that much credit, but to be able to say that you did a collaboration, which is the hardest thing I've ever able to find right now, is people to collaborate with. They just want you to fill in what they're doing, most of them. But with Carlos, like, he really like listens whenever I want to do stuff like that. And I don't know if he just knows that I'm special and neurodivergent, but at the end of the day, when he smiles at me, I'm just like, okay, that's a thumbs up to him. Like, he's one of my closest friends, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. The fact that I got to learn what real collaboration was with him. And that's now bled off into, I collaborate with a lot of different artists now, but starting to bring all that into the foreground is what's going to be really cool over the next couple of years. That's where you get into that whole, like, that Russell Simmons, just like, oh, I'm no longer in the spotlight thing. I'm just kind of sitting back here, and that collaboration's beautiful, and then I'm really pumped about that. So.
Another thing, you kept saying this weekend. Let's tell everybody what's going on this weekend.
Well, this weekend definitely is I think it's like the 7th annual All-American Tattoo Convention. I used to be Mr. like straight in the foreground of being promotion for that, but I can't. They gave me a booth this year, and I will be actually doing 2 of the contests. I'll be emceeing them, which is kind of crazy because this is the year I decided I'm kind of done emceeing. I've been doing it for so long, for everything from beard and mustache national championships to tattoo conventions all over.
The zombie walk.
Of course. I wanted to kind of I was hoping that you would be able to kind of brag that this year was my favorite zombie walk ever. And being able to MC that with you was I wanted to tell you that today. I'm so happy because I've never got to be able to have a co-host of anything, and to be able to do it, it takes a lot of the stress off. I love being able to see other people's energy. And being up there by yourself, you're just trying to pick from every other person. But instead, I can look at, Dom's energy, and I'm so excited. And then we danced so hard. I did not have to work out the next day because my glutes were, woo.
That was a sick band.
It was a beautiful thing. But yes, no. So I'll get to MC 2 of the contests. It'll be the beard contest and which is funny. I kind of earned that from all that back in the day. But also the beauty pageant. And so. Great. Do you remember my old beauty pageant stuff with Kate Beard? Did you ever just do that?
One at Rock Shop.
Oh, yes. 800 people. Oh, my goodness.
Y'all were really pretty.
We were pretty. I was fierce. There was a difference.
I'm sorry.
But see, that's the thing is that I always told them, I was like, I don't want to win. You know what I'm saying? I won the very first one before we took it over. And that's the thing is that's the competition with things nowadays. I could give a care less about winning trophies. I want more of like the clients to be able to go to things like the All-American Tattoo Convention this weekend. I want my clients to go and enter their work. If it wins, it wins. If it doesn't, who cares? When was the last time you got up on a stage besides whenever your mama made you over at the mall, to be able to win a little trophy or something? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I feel like people's confidence is they're so excited to show it off in front of the mirror. They're so excited to show it off to their friends at the club after they get it done. Don't do that. Don't ever go out to the club after a tattoo. No. But that's no. It's you did it. That right there. That means you did it. Oh man, girl.
Right.
No, you didn't. But yeah, no, you don't ever want to be able to put a tattoo into such a crazy place like that after you get it done. Just wait until it's nice and healed. You can show it off forever. But that's the whole point. Is I urge my clients. I always tell them if they bring me back, a trophy, at this point in time, you're taking it back home with you. I just need to be able to see the proof. But it not only does be able to promote, my artwork, which is really cool, but also at the same time, it promotes your confidence and you get up there. And especially if you do receive something that's neat. If not, I have people that go and they have still shown off the same tattoo every single year. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not about the winning aspect. It's about the fact that you got on stage in front of a whole bunch of people. You didn't have to perform. You just showed off a tattoo. But I think that kind of like breaks the ice for a lot of folks, especially that we're living in such a very inclusive world, I guess, what I'm saying, where like, everybody just wants to be like a recluse. They don't want to live through the internet, but like I love the fact that when I turn on my phone, I see people who have gotten me in the background of doing something stupid. Later on, I'll show you a whole lineup of tattoo artists with dope back pieces, and then this guy with a tramp stamp out on the waters of Puerto Rico.
Nice.
But that's what I'm saying is it boosts your confidence anytime that you can be able to be involved with something that's really neat. And so that's why I've still stayed involved with this event. I'm getting too old for it, but now you just got to be like, I'll be there for the 10 years. Once you do anything for 10 years, Kate Beard for 10 years, this convention, and emceeing for 10 years. Like, I think sometimes there's a really cool cutoff point where you can go off and do other cool things with your life. And so, yeah, I'm going to keep this going with this convention and the other ones, and I'll be right up front. Actually, that's what they told me. I might get there and complain. I'm really good at it. It's more like whining. It's like an art form.
I mean, yeah. They're considered art.
I do. I work with the best negotiators in the business. Okay. Every day, those women are able to negotiate anything that I want, and they'll tell me to just do it myself. So it's perfect.
I need them on my team.
Oh, right. But no, this weekend, like I said, it's the 12th, 13th, and 14th, I believe. 2 o'clock's usually whenever we kick it off on Fridays, because you got to let all the health inspectors get through. You got to go through. You got a lot of folks coming from out of town. This is a humongous tattoo convention. I've seen bigger, but you don't want to be able to get that for around here. You want to make sure you have that really good steady flow where artists, and it's not too overwhelming for the client. I've been to one of those where it's like, we have 1,000 artists and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And we have fire breathers and all. I'm telling you, down in Miami, that show, it's like half the people are like, I made it through with a 30-minute walk. I'm ready to go home. And I'm like, what about your SpongeBob tattoo, please?
please come back, please.
Yeah. So no, I'm of course doing walk-ups for some of the weekend. My partner Kayla will be there, be able to help me with sell merchandise. We have like the new shirts. We have some old merchandise. I didn't bring booty shorts. I feel like you even mentioned someone earlier the other day, and I swear it's like when you realize that you brought it there, you were the godfather of booty shorting for dudes. And then you realize that, so I'm bringing regular size bathing suit shorts. No, you can cut them up. I have some exciting ones. I'm bringing Day-Glo back this year.
Okay.
Come on, girl. Like, you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly what you're talking about.
You want your parents to see you at the park from about a mile away. You put on some Day-Glo. Yes. And then if we can be able to have some fun, maybe bring Hypercolor back, like that way you can see where I'm sweating.
Yes, let's do it.
Now, I've always tried to be able to do fun things with merchandise. I'm horrible at being an actual merchant because I never think about what you want. I'm like, what's going to look good for me if I can't find something to wear?
But if you like it, someone else will too.
That's true. And because of that, there's quite a few people with the word awesome across their butt. And just letting you know that like all these other booty shorts that you'll see this weekend, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a few. I just feel like if it doesn't say awesome, then it's not really going to support that ass.
Yes. So tell all the people where they can find you on the socials.
Okay, so you can find me, of course, at Johnny Awesome Tattoos on Instagram. And now, of course, you can actually find me on not only Instagram, but on TikTok, on YouTube, and of course on Facebook. For all the people that are friends with my mom that want to see my picture. And then of course, Awesome Tattoos NC. Always, we have amazing artists there. We've always are really welcome and open to guest artists. We really enjoy that. But because of that, now we have a full house of women that are just completely kicking it. From Megan the Piercer, you have Olivia, you have Liz, you have Dallas now, and I think we're going to try to be able to possibly add one more friend on later on when we make this expansion. We are going to be moving. I did not know how I was going to tell anybody, but yes, Awesome Tattoos is going to be moving to 220 Hayes Street. It's the old Garnet Skull.
Right next to Cold Spring.
That's right. And I've really worked very hard about kind of keeping it down until we have paint on the walls, but I'm really excited for the support for this year. I'm really excited about being in Fayetteville for all the things that we're going to be doing. And I love that everyone's kind of got like a new, match up their asses this year for 2024. Everybody's got something they want to be involved with. So like I said, you can be able to find definitely me and Liz Peterson from Awesome Tattoos at the All-American Tattoo Convention. And of course, at the shop this weekend, I believe that Olivia Taylor and of course Dallas and Megan will be there to be able to handle any needs for Friday and Saturday. Just make sure that you hit us up on Awesome Tattoos NC on Instagram, and you can actually message any of us individually. They are strong, independent women that I do not need to tell how to do business. So that's the best part about our stuff. You don't schedule an appointment through our Instagram. You go and find them, and you're able to actually have that one-on-one, which I think is very important for a business. And like I said, this weekend, 12th through the 14th, the All-American Tattoo Convention. I'm pretty sure you could put .com on the end of that and find it for them, but they're not paying me enough to say it.
We'll put it on somewhere.
All right, well, let's wait right around here. Yes. Do me a favor. Can we do a party hat for this year?
Right,
this time,
we'll put it
can I have a
everywhere.
cat sitting on my head?
All-American Tattoo Convention. Doo-doo-doo.
They have no idea what happens with the man behind the curtain with this stuff.
That's why I want a camera on Brian.
Do they know that Brian's over there?
Yeah. Because I've done a couple of things where I forced him to come on camera.
HR?
There is no HR, but I want to thank you for coming on the show.
This has been so cool. I'm very proud of you, and I love being able to see you make your ranks in this awesome, area that we have. Yes, ma'am.
We're both awesome. So we'll see you guys at the All-American Tattoo Convention this weekend, where it's more about tattooing and merch. It's about community. And follow Johnny Awesome. It's the 15th episode of the Nuthin To Do podcast.
Woo! That's right.
We should have a party for the...
Do you have like a sign off for this or something like that?
Yeah. We already recorded that one.
You stay on. Yeah,
Bye, guys.
Bye.
It's the Nuthin To Do podcast, episode 15. Now let's talk about people who do. My mission in life is to shine a light on all peoples, regardless of political, sexual, or racial. And one of the groups that have been doing good in our community for the past 10 years and deserves their flowers started off as a barbershop called Barber Kings over a decade ago. You go get you a nice little fade, it'll hook you up, right? Now they have a nonprofit called Cut My City. And with the nonprofit, they're looking for anyone who is less fortunate and can't afford a cut. You're a disabled vet, you're man, woman, child, elderly, doesn't matter. They're just looking to give you a fresh cut. Because I know whenever my boyfriend gets a fresh cut, I'm like, who you trying to look good for? Because I'm right here. And I ain't even got my glasses on to see anyways. But, neither here nor there. But if you guys are around April 13th, go check them out at the Crown Coliseum. They'll be in the parking lot, the north parking lot, giving out free haircuts, because that's their mission, is to make everyone look good. And I can get behind that mission. Also, they are joining the ranks with the Harlem Globetrotters, as all of your Crown influencers, including myself, are. I'll put my special link in our Facebook and Instagram for you guys to click on and get your tickets, because I remember seeing the Globetrotters when I was just a teen with my uncle, and it was one of the most precious moments that we shared together. So get yourself a nice little fade, but not like that fade. And go get your tickets to the Harlem Globetrotters because it's actually really, really entertaining for all ages. And that has it for episode 15 of the Nuthin To Do podcast, recorded right here in the shared studios, brought to you by Cumulus Media Group. That's Q98, Rock 103, which you can catch me every Sunday, Magic 106.9, and 6:40 a.m. with Good Morning Fayetteville. Until next week, here's a whole bunch of stuff to do, wherever he puts it. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Nuthin To Do weekly podcast, recorded at the Share Studios in Fayetteville, North Carolina, with your host, Dominique. And make sure to tune in next week because it's only going to get better.